What's up, Trekkies? Hi. So, we're gonna split this into two videos. Console, you're gonna get knowledge on both videos, but I gotta split this because there's a lot of ships. So, you're gonna get this news twice. It's Mirror Universe time. That means you sign up, you do your little thing, you go to Bothell Station, science vessels on portals, typically, cruisers on satellite things, 4 of them around the edge, until there's level 5. There's no reason after that, and just start mass killing things. Escorts try to kill things. I know it's scary. I have already gone through my event on thing. I've already gone 2 extra days because I just don't care. Like, I flew in my kitty crate this morning. Basically, you're getting 2 weeks out of 3. So 14 out of 21 transponders. Get it for doing it. If you really do want a challenge and you're going with fleet mates, sure, go with advanced or elite. I forget if there's an elite. If you're gonna pug it, pickup group, go through the just regular. Even during the height of the event, people are still lazy. Last Wednesday, I had a really good group. We had 47 portals closed. And like no enemies were up, and they were constantly cycling. Like, we had the station powered up really fast. Thursday, 12 portals closed, and the station damn near died. I didn't change difficulty. It's still on regular. And then you guys will be moving on to the Renegade's Regret, week 2, blah, blah, blah. Okay, now that we're here for the actual video, I've already given the console news on both these videos. This one is about Jem'hadar Vanguard starships. The other video is about Cardassians. You can find that here. The idea with unique Vanguard features is that they have a level 6 mastery, starship mastery. And they're initially available for Jem'hadar characters, but then you can fly them for anybody once they reach top tier. Jem'hadar wingmen. Vanguard starships are issued 2 loyal Jem'hadar ace pilots. These expert pilots fly their own Jem'hadar Vanguard heavy raiders in formation with you, never straying far from your side. Their extensive experience in team-based tactics allow them to execute powerful maneuvers for you. Polar-on strafing maneuver. Micro-warp to your side and initiate a forward-facing scatter volley barrage, dealing large amounts of damage to any foe in a wide area in front of you. Sounds cool. Structural reinforcement maneuver. Increase shield resistance and apply rapid hull healing for several seconds. May target any ally, including your other wingmen. That's cool. Divergent shield maneuver. Focuses on a foe, draining their shields over several seconds while also weakening their shield resistance. All maneuvers share a cooldown, and only one may be active at a time. Wingmen may not be ordered to attack specific targets, but will instead rapidly update their targeting parameters based on your chosen target. So they should be a little bit more responsive than fighters, but I wouldn't place them too far above it. If destroyed in combat, each wingman will automatically rejoin you after a short lockout period has passed. So basically everybody gets fighters. Now we're moving on to the Jem'hadar Vanguard carrier. So not only do you have these little guy ace pilots next to you, you have 2 full bays. The carrier has, per typical, Commander Science, Lieutenant Commander Science / Intel, Lieutenant Universal, Lieutenant Commander Tactical, and an Ensign Engineer. Sounds like that sounds like almost like the kitty crate. It's got some things swapped around. I think it's a Lieutenant Tactical, a Lieutenant Engineering, and what. Console modifications: 4 Tactical, 2 Engineering, 5 Science, so definitively offensively based. Turn rate, slow. Impulse modifier, slow. Inertia, fat. +10 to weapon, +10 to aux. Very nice. Not full science vessel, only has subsystem targeting. No secondary deflector or sensor analysis. It comes with a console, linked command matrix, 2 hangar bays loaded with Jem'hadar fighters, the Vanguard wingman ship mechanic as stated above, and it's got a carrier mastery, so hangar recharge, max hull, shield regen and resistance, max hull, and then dampen energy signature starship trait, and then the account unlock will be 6. The linked command module will detach a heavy attack craft from the aft portion of the Jem'hadar carrier. So kind of like the Aquarius, it sounds like. You gain turn rate, but hull and shield HP are slightly reduced when it detaches because it's bulky. If it takes heavy damage, it will be disabled and you'll need to disengage, deploy heavy attack craft, and then redock it. I don't know, if you guys have the Odyssey with the Aquarius, that might be similar to it. It doesn't seem like that works the same way with the Vulcan, with the Dakir, because that's more of an auxiliary craft, and I don't know. I have the Dakir, it just... Jem'hadar heavy attack craft comes equipped with Polaron banks and arrays, quantum torpedo launcher, additionally has beam fire at will 3, beam overload 2, and torpedo high yield 1. Console is a passive boost to hull capacity and crit hit chance with energy weapons. So the hull capacity may kind of compensate for the loss of hull that you get with the ship leaving. Can be equipped on any Jem'hadar Vanguard ships, but only one at a time. Obviously, because you should only technically by lore have one ship in your butt. Dampen energy signatures. While the starship trait is slotted, activation of mask energy signature or any intel bridge officer ability will grant your hangar pets a large amount of stealth as well as significantly reducing their threat generation for a long time. Hangar pets do not break their stealth even when they are attacking. That sounds cool. Sounds like you may want to use that in terms like on a kitty crate where you got stalker fighters, which already have mask energy signature and battle cloak. Let's hope they don't cloak themselves out of existence. This thing says comes with Jem'hadar fighters, but the very next thing below it says Jem'hadar Vanguard gunboats. The Vanguard carrier comes equipped with 2 wings of Vanguard gunboats. It sounds new. So disregard what that thing said above. New hangar pets craft are frigate rank large fighters built to combat against the Gamma Quadrant's deadliest threats. So you only spawn 2 of these guys per hangar. But I tell you, I use a frigate on my Anoraks, the Krenim frigates, and they're nuts. So getting 4 of these guys is like having 2 tiny little escorts that are stupid. So 2 tiny little escorts. Each of these guys has a Polaron dual beam bank up front and a beam array up front, Polaron beam array in the back, and quantum torpedoes. They have fire at will 1, attack pattern lambda 1, evasive burst 1, brief increase to flight speed, turn rate, and defense, chance of initiating ramming speed when below 50% health. Advanced and elite versions of these pets will also be available. Those pets will be outfitted with rank 2 and rank 3 of all listed above abilities. So beam fire at will 3, attack pattern lambda 3, evasive burst 3, and then the chance to initiate ramming speed when below 50% health. Which could be cool is if they start initiating it and you use scramble fighters, make them immune. They go through with an immunity shield. Bam! Do a lot of damage. Take no damage. It's a thing. I did it once in my Vesta, but I thought that was too dangerous for me to do in the future, so I stopped doing it. Now we're moving on to the Jem'hadar Vanguard Dreadnought Cruiser. This is much like the Galaxy X, as people are calling it, the 3 nacelled one, looks very similar to that one. Stat-wise, it doesn't look that way. Again, it's a tier 6 ship. Shield modifier, slightly high for a cruiser, which is good. 4 in the front, 4 in the back, 4 device. Commander Engineering, Lieutenant Commander Engineering / Command. Lieutenant Commander Tactical. Lieutenant Science Ensign Universal. 3 tactical consoles, 5 engineering consoles, 3 science consoles. Very rounded to an extent. A little more tactical because Lieutenant Commander versus Lieutenant Science. Plus 10 weapons, plus 10 shield. 1 hangar bay with Jem'hadar fighters. We'll see if that's anything different below. Wingman mechanic, as I said before. Cruiser commands, only weapon systems, and taunting. Starship Mastery is the Dreadnought Cruiser package, so hull regen, energy and radiation damage resistance, then crit chance, then max hull, then team synergy, starship trait. This thing looks like your typical Jem'hadar ship. Like the big fat one that was sitting outside Deep Space Nine. Yeah, looks like it has the similar design. Whereas the carrier has like a really long nose. Activating the Dominion targeting synchronizer marks an enemy and will moderately reduce their defense and damage resistance rating. Additionally, allies that fire upon this enemy will gain weapon cycle haste and weapon power cost reduction buff for a very brief time. This buff reapplies each time allies attack the marked target. Console passive boost shield capacity and crit hit chance with projectile weapons. So if you like torpedoes, that's a boost. If you don't, I don't think it's that big a deal. Team synergy. When activation of engineering, science, or tactical team, apply a lesser version of these abilities to nearby allies. Most likely your hangar pets included. That could be really good going into fight, get all your little guys out, and then right before, like right as you're like counting down that last kilometer towards stuff, you know, from 11 to 10.9, 10.8, 10.7, 10.6, you know, hit tactical team, get it upon your fighters or your frigates, and then right as you hit 10, everything's like, ah! Well, technically your guys will fly further ahead. I've played enough with it. But they come with one hangar of Vanguard gunboats, as I stated before. Now we've got the Jem'hadar Vanguard warship. This is 1.15 hull, 1.15 shield, 5 weapons up front, 3 in the back. This seems more an assault cruiser. It's got a commander tactical, so it is heavy, but I'm not sure. Is it a big ship? 46,000 hull at level 60 versus the cruiser has 55,000 hull. So it's a smaller ship. It's got a commander tactical, lieutenant commander tactical, miracle worker. Ooh, a tactical, like an escort with a miracle worker slot. Interesting. But not a full escort because it doesn't have an experimental weapons console. Lieutenant commander engineering. Ooh, 2 lieutenant commander slots. Ensign Science, Lieutenant Universal. May want to put a science in there just for more healing abilities, unless you just absolutely. 12.5 turn rate, impulse modifier, meh, inertia, light. 5 tactical, 4 engineering, 2 science, 15 weapon power, 5 shield power, can equip dual cannons. So it's got that Lieutenant Commander tactical miracle worker slot, so that could be effective. I'm not sure. But it gives you a bit more healy abilities, I guess. Miracle worker's kind of strange like that. Console, power dispersal channel, and then it's got, it's a destroyer package. So, tricks of the trade is the starship trade. Power dispersal channel universal console. That's a mouthful. But they're all simple words, not a science vessel. Activating this ability will briefly drain all the power levels and all your power levels and disable your starship. But unleash a devastating burst of radiation in a long, wide cone in front of your starship. Oh! Foes unfortunate enough to be caught in the blast will suffer extreme radiation damage and have their power levels slowly drain over time. Owie! Massive boost, strain expertise, crit severity, and healing crit severity. May be equipped on any Jem'hadar Vanguard starship. Okay, if you guys watched Babylon 5, not Last Crusade, but their last movie, technically Crusade, but one of their new battleships had they had this, kind of like a A-wing from Star Wars, but it had a big long nose. And they'd have to power down the ship, and they could from the 3 points, and and then they'd sit there for 2 minutes while their power level's That's what this sounds like. It's going to disable your starship, but you're just going to blast forward. Really good if you face a gravity well, for instance. Or, everything's in there and you just line yourself up and then just blast a big cone through it. Tricks of the trade. Starship trait. When slotted, activation of auxiliary to structural integrity field or any miracle worker ability. Grants your team a reduction to weapon power cost for a short time. Nice. And now for the last Jem'hadar ship, Vanguard Heavy Raider. Below 100%, so 0.925, 37,000. This is definitively an there's a pilot bridge officer building. There we go. 4 in the front, 2 in the back. Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Commander, Universal, Pilot. This is a bird of prey. It's got a Commander Tactical, Lieutenant Commander, Universal, Pilot. Everything else is Universal. Ensign, Lieutenant Commander. So pick how you want, but it's got 5 tactical consoles, 2 engineering, 4 science. Could actually be good for my friend Brad. High turn rate. 20 turn rate. Oh my god. Inertia. Can leaf on the wind there. Can equip dual cannons. Of course. 15 weapon, 5 shield. Polaron particle inverter is the console. Raider flanking. Again, 33% bonus when striking an enemy's rear flank. Experimental weapon slot. There we go. Field distortion overcharge pulse. That sounds cool. And then it's got a Raider mastery with press the advantage for the starship trait. Polaron particle inverter. Activating this ability releases a continuous burst of anti-proton particles into the area around the starship. Enemies caught in the bursts have their flight speed reduced, have their shield hardness reduced, and suffer heavy radiation damage. Additionally, cloaked enemies will be revealed. That's nuts. Yeah. Console provides a passive boost to exotic damage and control expertise. This sounds like one of those you could definitely turn into like an escort, but you also have exotic damage supplement, like a gravity well to get everything kind of near, and then you can move in and particle inverter everything nearby you. Press the advantage. While the starship trait is slotted, you attack any enemy's rear arc, you will reduce their turn rate and grant yourself a brief tactical and pilot bridge officer ability recharge reduction time. Somehow if you can get intelligence to work with this one, they have an ability that you do more damage while flanking. I'm not sure, pilot may also, but I know intelligence does. The buff immediately refreshes each time you land a hit on the enemy's rear arc. Experimental weapon, field distortion overcharge pulse. So 360 obviously, may be upgraded like a standard weapon, swapped out for another experimental weapon, and placed in any other starship's experimental weapon slot. Is designed primarily to debilitate the enemy's ability to keep their shields intact, but the extreme power contained in the bolts has a side effect of causing electrical damage to starships it impacts. Nice. That's that. I like some of these. No science vessels, but maybe. Still have a summer vessel waiting to come. I don't know what it is. Okay, I will catch you guys next week. According to the calendar, we have the expansions coming out next week. So June 5th. Hopefully these ships are in line, in cool, ready for you guys to go. I will catch you guys next week. See what's going on.